Hey guys, so today I've been thinking a little bit about what introverted and extroverted feeling are, what introverted and extroverted thinking are, and how certain types can be blind to the other. So I know that probably wasn't very clear. So for example, my mom is an ENFP and my brother is an ISTP, and I have another brother who is an ESTP. And so for my mom, she kind of is the inverse and opposite of my brother. So not only does she not share their functions, but also the priority of sensing, intuition, feeling, and thinking is reversed. And so that can create some problems because for her, she has a blind spot to introverted thinking and extroverted sensing, whereas my brothers have a blind spot to extroverted intuition and introverted feeling. So they're both kind of completely unaware of each other's perceiving axis and judging axis a little bit. So what's interesting is that for my brothers, they're kind of a lot more emotionally reactive, and my mom is kind of more internally reacting to whatever's going on. So for instance, a lot of times my brothers might say something that is a little bit triggering to my mom's FI, and she will kind of get upset by that, and that will probably show on her face that she is hurt, not by something that a person said, but by what they reminded her of. For me, I can kind of comprehend what that means because I do have a level of subconscious introverted feeling where I'm aware of how that works. But for my brothers, they can't even comprehend of what that would be. So if they are seeing a reaction on my mom's face, they are going to think that she is expressing extroverted feeling because they don't think there's another thing that could be expressed. They don't think that emotions could have deeper roots. And also because of their blind spot to extroverted intuition, it's very difficult for them to conceive of a reality that they aren't actually seeing or haven't experienced. So all of that kind of chalks up to them not only misinterpreting my mom, but also ascribing motives to her that they refuse to deny because they're just so sure of what they see. So, they'll say something that triggers my mom's introverted feeling, and they will say, "Look at you, you're being mad at me." They'll be like, what the heck? I didn't do anything wrong. Like, now I'm going to be mean to you. And that's kind of how that works. And for my mom, she's also ignoring their extroverted sensing that there's just this one thing that they're looking at. And she's also ignoring their introverted thinking, which is much more analytical. And so it just leads to a lot of confusion. And sometimes I feel like I see each of their sides, and I can try to mediate, but it's just so difficult because my mom's intuition does allow her to conceive of other mindsets, I think. But unfortunately for my brothers, I'm just not sure that I could convince them that my mom is experiencing something inwardly, rather than trying to actually get a rise out of them. Because when she's upset because of her introverted feeling, and she shows it on her face that she's upset, my brothers will interpret that as like, hey, you're trying to show me that you are upset with me right now. And So it looks like she's challenging them. And so what do? They are not extroverted feelers first. I think an extroverted feeler first in this situation would try to be like, hey, what's going on with you? Can we figure this out? Because they don't really want to up the ante. And so, yeah. It can just be really difficult because for them, they will be like, hey, you know what? You're upset with me? Oh, I'm going right back at you with that same thing.